can't get over the shine. This looks absolutely amazing. I can no longer see the stone chips that were evident on that bonnet here, or just above the headlight here. It's all gone. Even down here there were marks, now all gone. I think this looks better than when I collected it from when I purchased it last year. I just can't take this in. It's just beautiful. The mirror type shine is just incredible. It really does show what a great job Nick has done on this car. Stunning, stunning. For someone that loves this car so much, well, it's my dream car. I loved the look of these when they were first introduced. When I first saw the pictures on the 21st of November 2017. I knew then that my objective was to own one of these, and to have worked hard to have accomplished that, to now own this in this spec, now looking like this. Wow. I can't quite believe it, I'm actually blown away. The shape and dimensions of this thing is just lovely. Wow. Let's bring Nick in, who's done this amazing work. Yeah, I mean, I'm just blown away by it, how it looks. I mean, in your opinion, when I brought it in, what did you... The state of the car, what did you think of it? Was it in good condition?
Yeah, and I mean the ceramic that was on it was still beading, but there were some swirls on it. Certain panels weren't bad, like the bonnet wasn't too bad, but the doors had a lot of swirls in. The boot lid had a lot of swirls in.
Yeah.
But not like concentrated, so like what we call random deep scratches.
Yeah.
Like someone's been rubbing something over the top of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but now you've got it ceramic and got it up to a good level. If you follow a wash process, I'll send you a message with that and what to do and what products to get. Because I sell the products if you've got the bits and bats to do it.
Okay.
And basically, if you follow that process, it should stay pretty swirl free. You can never completely avoid swirls because at the end of the day, washing a car, you're rubbing something with the paintwork. But you should be able to keep it in very good condition for a long time.
So I've looked around it just before you arrived, and you know the chips that I point, I can't even see.
A couple, but I can't get rid of them completely. It's what I call 6 foot repair, but they're not stone chip white anymore, are they?
I mean there's one round here. I can't even see where it is now. So
I mean the colour match from Chipex is bang on,
and that's this over here, isn't it?
It's
so this is what you recommended me to get, and you applied it when I came here, and they're 100% guarantee now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it says on their website, and that is
bang on. So fantastic. It does work.
And there were some here that I was looking at. I can't even see where they are.
No,
up on this two little that have disappeared.
Yeah.
So
I'm pleased with how they've come out. It's sometimes you get a stone chip and it doesn't quite disappear, or it sits a bit proud.
Yeah.
But this time it just levelled itself really nicely. The trick with Chipex is less is more. Don't blob a huge load of paint into it. Just dab it in.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Let it set a little bit. Dab a bit more in.
Yeah.
And you can. Well, the average Joe's probably not going to do this. Can wet something and then polish it. But it's stone chip repair.
So this is going in London Concours on Tuesday, and then going to Burley Concours, which is Aston Martin only, on Sunday. So 2 concours in close proximity. So as you know, I'm going to drive this down to Surrey to stay with my parents, and then drive it into London on Tuesday. So my thoughts are, I'm going to Goodwood in it on Sunday.
So you're going to Goodwood Sunday.
Going to Goodwood Sunday.
London Tuesday, and then I've got another concours on Sunday, which is in Peterborough. The next one, so a week.
Yeah.
So you're in Peterborough at Burley House.
Yes.
I've been there.
That's right. Yeah, I've never been there. No. So I'm just thinking now, Nick, what advice would you give me on Monday? I'm going to use that as my sort of cleaning day, preparing it for concours.
Yeah.
Following on from all this excellent work that you've done, what advice would you give me on Monday? What should I do?
Give it a week.
Right.
Before you wash it with chemicals, but obviously. Ideal world, and that doesn't always work out.
Well, I normally only wash it with water, believe it or not.
I would blast it off with a jet wash.
Yeah.
Then use Carpro Reset shampoo at a very mild dilution.
Right.
Wash it, 2 buckets, one with your shampoo in, one with your clean water, dip your mitt in there, wash a third of the bonnet, rinse in the other bucket, third of the bonnet because it's a gigantic bonnet.
Yeah.
Let's say half the roof, rinse your mitt. So basically, any contamination you pick up on your mitt is going straight back in the rinse bucket.
Yeah.
And then you put it back in your shampoo bucket and you move around the car that way, working your way down.
Okay.
Wheels wise, you could use a wheel cleaner on them. Obviously, we haven't had the wheels off to coat them, so they will be fine. I would avoid strong chemicals on the paintwork because obviously I want your ceramic to last.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be attacked by chemicals. With a mild dilute, you should be fine.
Yeah.
The ceramic we put on this goes off pretty fast. I used that because I knew you were going pretty much straight out, and it's a nice warm day, so it can go straight out. So it should be pretty hard by the time you get down to London. It should have cured.
Yeah. I just want to wrap it in cotton wool and
I know.
beam it down there now. No doubt it's going to pick up the normal grime that you get. But hopefully, I mean, looking at all this work and how immaculate it is now, hopefully it won't be hard to bring it back to this sort of spec.
You should notice it beads off. It's one of those. You're driving a car, it's going to get dirty, unfortunately. It's going to pick up.
Now, I thought, and it was hard to see in here, but there was a little swell bit here, wasn't there?
There was.
Did you see it as well?
Yeah. Sorry, from this angle. It was DA sanding marks.
I can't see it now.
That's because it's gone.
Yeah. So I cannot see that at all, which is so good. Because it almost looked, someone naive to all of this like me, it looked like someone had put a bag on it and would move the bag around, which I didn't do. Right, okay.
As we say, it could be from factory, that someone's sanded the panel after painting, flattened it down, gone, oh, that looks good. Because what happens is they will use a compound, they will flat it down. Yeah. They'll use a compound that's got quite a lot of solvents in it. Yeah. When it gets hot, it swells. Yeah. Those defects disappear, the paint levels, but as it drops back, you'll get the defects reappearing. So that could be what's happened. And obviously on a production line, they're not going to spend 3 days detailing your car. They're going to...
But that's now gone.
So that's gone. But that's the difference between a paint shop and a detailer. And it's kind of, we cross over, but we're not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you've taken, you were telling me earlier, just before I switched the camera on, that you've measured the depth of the paint.
Yeah. With a paint depth gauge. So this little guy here. So if we let it load. And then this measures, because it works magnetically, it measures lacquer, colour coat, primer, metal. So it doesn't tell you the 3 different levels. You can get ones that do that, but they're incredibly expensive. And they work on, is it not infrared, ultrasound. Yeah. There you go, 202 microns. And we'll go around the car and 188, 194.
And these readings, what would you say is a good reading and a bad reading?
Well,
are these pretty standard readings?
They're pretty standard for a factory paint job. Yeah. I've had a Mazda in. They don't put a lot of paint on the car because they paint on the Sky Active system, as they call it. I've had a new Mazda MX-5 with 50 microns before.
Wow. Okay. So there's nothing unordinary. It's all pretty standard.
It's pretty standard. I would say it's factory paint.
Yeah. Brilliant.
We just needed some TLC.
Yeah. I mean, even the wheels. What you've done. I mean, the wheels.
Yeah, got in there and cleaned those.
Lovely.
Obviously, if we took them off, we can then do a full clean. That wasn't on the agenda this time.
Okay, so
engine bay's done as well. We've steam cleaned the engine bay.
Should we have a quick look at that?
Yeah, we can have a look at that. The releases on the passenger side.
Do you know, I've owned this since last August, and when I go to getting in the engine, I still forget which one it is.
It's a big red lever just down here.
I still forget it. I always go to the wrong side.
Yeah, we've
Just
cleaned
put
all
the finger
that.
Mark on there now.
That's all right. We'll wipe that off. But yeah, we've given it a proper clean, steamed it with a handheld steamer. And just made it look as new. We could have put a dressing on it, but these Concours, sometimes they can mark you down for too much bling. So I thought I'll leave it factory standard, like it just roll off the production line.
So on Monday, when I clean it, I'll lift the hood and just...
You shouldn't have too much muck under here. No. I mean, engine bays take quite a long time to get dirty, and you can tell how often a car's been cleaned, often by opening the bonnet and looking at it. Because, I mean, an example, in here, there was loads of leaf mulch down here, and obviously that's a drainage point for the water to get away when it rains, when you wash it. And if it blocks up, the water then finds another way out, and then you can sometimes have problems. I'll just drop this down. This is a slam, isn't it? You
it is,
give it a bit of a...
always works best that way. Although it doesn't sound that nice, does it?
No.
Yeah, and when you lift the hood up, I normally try and get in there and clean, so I'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that's somewhere I've jet washed and had the mitt in there, but they do, and especially if you run through mud. I've had these before on a Vantage where they're just completely clogged with stones, grit, mud.
Yeah. And there was 2 white little marks here.
There was.
On either side, which actually corresponds with where the wipers are.
I think it's almost as if there is someone's opened the bonnet with the wipers up when it's been serviced and they've got the paint.
Right, okay.
It's quite common, it's not I've seen that.
Yeah, just something for other owners to be aware of, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Because, I don't know how I would have done that. And stone chips, it's not going to happen.
There's no way stone chips can get here. Stones come from this direction.
So it's just something to work for. So there's my finger marks there on when I open the bonnet, so I'll have to sort that out. But no, Nick, that's brilliant. I'm coming back to you for front and side sealed PPF before I go.
Bonnet, bumper, lights, splitter, mirrors, and basically, I was saying wings, but basically the bonnet on these is half the wing.
Yeah.
And then sills, and we'll sort out the little rash guards at the back as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
fantastic. Nick, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how I get on.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
Well, it's not across the road. You can come out and look soon.
You're a star, buddy.
Brilliant. Enjoy.
I will see you soon. Yeah, I'll be in touch.
Yeah, brilliant.
Take care. Bye bye. See you, Alex. Morning everyone. I'm whispering because it's early morning on a Sunday. I travelled down from Yorkshire. I'm now staying with my parents in Surrey because I've got a lot of filming to do, including London Concours in a couple of days' time. We start off this video going to Goodwood because it's Breakfast Club day. I've never been before, but if the travel down yesterday was anything to go by, I'm sure we picked up cars that we may see today at Goodwood. But yeah, I'm just cleaning the bugs off the car, and there are quite a few on there, which I suppose is a good thing to see.
follow that car.
That's easy.
It's not a racetrack today.
No, definitely not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, this is going on the racetrack. Yep, no worries. I think I'll be the last one this time. Okay, that's
next
good.
to the Lotus.
So as you can see, we've arrived at Goodwood for the Breakfast Club, and there's loads of cars now turning up, including a few Aston Martins. So I'm going to go and grab a coffee and we'll have a look around.
Classic, classical cheese.
Thank you.
Is this a dream? Too good to be true. What I feel for you, is it all just a fantasy? I know it's true, I'm sure it's for real. And whatever I feel, I know you feel.
So this is the little Lotus that we've followed much of the way to Goodwood, this being a 2007 Exige. Beside that is this 1992 Vauxhall Carlton, engineered by Lotus. Now this is a rare car, with only 320 ever being produced. I wonder how many are left on the road. I bet there's not many. This one looks absolutely immaculate. And there's the little Lotus coloured badge to signify how special this is. I recently saw one of these with around 36,000 miles on the clock for sale just under £100,000, so they're going up in value. Now this has a 3.6 litre 24 valve twin turbocharged straight 6 engine, and it produces around 377 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in around 5.2 seconds. The number plate hints at what this is, a silver 2024 Aston Martin DB12 with a twin turbocharged 4 litre V8 engine, similar to what's in my Vantage, but this has been tuned to around 671 brake horsepower. It does look very nice in this silver. I do love these 5-spoke silver alloy wheels, probably my favourite design of wheel for these latest Aston models. And that now familiar rear end, just like the DB11 which came before. Here we have a 2023 F1 Edition Vantage. I think I've seen a couple of these here today already. And here we have the F1 badge on these carbon fibre side vents. This has the same engine as my Vantage. Just a slight increase in power to 527 brake horsepower. It also comes with chassis and aerodynamic upgrades, all inspired by the Formula 1 safety car. And right next to it is this silver Vantage, which obviously to me also looks lovely. Lots of Alcantara in there, with that bright AMR racing line, but all familiar interior. And these also have these carbon fibre louvres on the bonnet. And over there is another Vantage with yellow tinted headlights, which is a bit unusual. A lovely 1988 red Ferrari 328. Here we have a 2004 bright yellow Lamborghini Gallardo. Now this has a mid-engine naturally aspirated 5 litre V10 engine, which you can see through here. This engine sounds lovely and produces 493 brake horsepower, which gets delivered to all 4 wheels. I wonder what the owner was trying to say with that registration. Wild 6 or something else? Now the reg on here on a 2017 Aston Martin Vantage, next to a lovely 2019 Ferrari 488 Pista. Things are starting to get quite busy here now. This looks like it's going to be a well attended event. Now here we have a car which we don't see too often, a 1992 blue Renault Alpine 610. This is powered by a 3 litre V6, which is turbocharged and produces around 250 brake horsepower. Nice blue leather in there, with an early 90s dash. Only 818 of these were produced, with production stopping in 1995 due to low demand and high cost to produce the car. And right next to this Alpine, look at this, a thoroughbred race car. This is a 2010 Seiko Rap X. These have a 2 litre turbocharged Subaru flat 4 engine, which is apparently is good for its tuning opportunities, producing around 275 brake horsepower. It looks like a race car in there. And this only weighs around 785 kilograms. These huge air intakes on the side here. So because it's so light, it can go to 62 miles per hour in around 3.5 seconds. Now these were produced as a race car and ran in the Brit Car Endurance Championship, the GT Cup and a Masters Endurance Legends Series. I've never seen one of these in the flesh before. Great to see one here. These lovely period looking buildings here at Goodwood Circuit, they fit in so well. With all the bikers up here, parked in the pits area. And now I'm walking down here, I appreciate how narrow these pits actually are. I've now got that appreciation when I next come and view the revival. A nice display of black and white liveried DTO Goodwood cars here. They look really smart. I've seen these dotted around the circuit. DTO is a company which provides motorsport drive experiences, so I assume these are used for coaching and improving driving skills around the Goodwood circuit, something I would love to do at some point. That may be a good thing to feature on the channel. What do you think? Maybe next year. There's so much to see here, so many people who are passionate about cars. Right, let's see what else is around. Just spotted this, a lovely 2023 purple Aston Martin Vantage V12 Roadster. I think only around 250 of these were ever produced and were fully sold out within a very short time frame after being announced in 2022. These have a 5.2 litre twin turbocharged V12 engine producing 690 brake horsepower. What do you think of this interior? It goes really well with the paintwork. Why not? The iconic embroidered Aston Martin badge on the headrests. Mine has a lovely ivory embroidery which I love. Now from memory, these have a lovely double centered exhaust. Right down here. A lovely, lovely thing, and with so few ever being made, this is probably the only one in this spec. So nice to see it and share it with you. Pleased I've seen one of those. Let's have a quick look at this 2007 Vantage. This has a lot of race car features, including these race windows. And many other racing parts. It's been stripped right back in here, proper race car spec. I wonder what this is raced in and what sort of performance it has. You can get a better view from this side. Yep, racing steering wheel. It's all been stripped out. Roll cage, racing seats. It's always interesting to see a stripped out car that's now being used for racing. So you never know what you're going to see at meetings like this. What variety? Talking of variety, look at this. A lovely deep purple 1999 Lamborghini Diablo. These are powered by a 5.7 litre V12 engine, which produces around 530 horsepower. Lovely cream leather interior, lovely dials behind that rather large steering wheel. Now only around 2,900 Diablo models were produced between 1990 and 2001. Diablo values can vary, as with any car, depending on age, mileage, condition. I've seen one for around 350,000 with around 22,000 miles, to one with only 250 miles with an asking price of around 600,000. So this is undoubtedly a valuable car, which is probably set to increase in value due to limited numbers and its iconic status. Great to see this here. Let's see what else has turned up. Here we have a 2021 Ferrari SF90 Assetto Fiorano, which has a 4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. You can see how tightly packed it is. Now this is combined with 3 electric motors, which produces a total of 786 horsepower. All black leather, dark interior. Now this does a crazy 0 to 62 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds, an amazingly fast car. Value wise, anything from around 400,000 to 500,000 for one of these with low miles. It's hard to believe that this is now 4 years old. And right next to it, which still looks good with sleek styling, is this 1992 Honda NSX. This is considered a modern classic and has a bit of an iconic status, which stems from its groundbreaking design back in the day, its performance and Honda's engineering. This was the first mass-produced supercar to use an all-aluminium chassis and body. Some lovely red Ricardo seats in here. Now the NSX handling, chassis, suspension was assisted by some crucial feedback back in the day by the legendary Ayrton Senna. This all led to it getting positive reviews for its precision and performance. The first generation had a production run from 1990 to 2005, where around 18,685 cars were produced worldwide. I wonder how many still exist. It's always nice to see a TVR, this being a 2001 Tuscan. These have some very distinctive and unique styling elements. I love that Union Jack TVR badge. It has a naturally aspirated inline 6 engine with a 4 litre displacement, which produces around 360 brake horsepower. Look at the curves of this thing. Let me show you how bespoke the interior of these are. Look at that, classic TVR styling. I do wish TVR would come back. Look at those curves on the bonnet. And the great lines continue at the rear here. Lights are down low with these two prominent exhausts in each corner. That shape and the curves are really nice. Value wise, recently I've seen 13,000 mile example for around £40,000 for a really distinctive and great looking British sports car. And here we have the first Nissan GTR that I've seen here. Let me show you the tailpipes on these. They do give the impression they have a lot to say. I do love the colouring of these ones. So this car is a 2009 GTR, 3.8 litre turbocharged V6 in these, producing around 480 horsepower, but later models offered even more horsepower. Camera's struggling to focus past this window. Now these have an iconic status due to their looks and its ability to deliver supercar level performance at a relatively accessible price. And the infamous GTR badge. And believe it or not, this one has a child seat in the back there. Great ride. There are so many cars here, and these are just ones lined up either side of the track. There are cars parked in so many areas on this Goodwood footprint. A couple of lovely Aston Martins parked over there. I am trying to look at some of the less ordinary cars that you may not see that often on the road. There's a couple of interesting cars here, the first being this 1995 Ferrari 512 TR, which is hinted via the registration plate. I think these have a 4.9 litre flat 12 engine. These iconic side vents that run from the door to the rear arch, they're so Ferrari. And this squared off rear end. Now a total of 2,261 512 TRs were produced between 1991 and 94, this replacing the Testarossa. A lovely gated manual gear stick, glistening in there. I love the styling of these mirrors, and this car is pristine, which is similar to nearly all the cars we've looked at here. Lovely cars, cared for really careful owners. Great to see. And next to the 512 we have this, a 2018 Ariel Atom. Everything designed for its lightweight attributes. How thin these seats are. Now this has a 2 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine which produces around 320 horsepower, but in a car which weighs around 550 kilos, that engine propels its occupants to 62 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds. What a variety this Supercar Sunday has for the visitors. It definitely makes it such a worthwhile visit. And it goes on and on. I could talk about so many cars here. Just before we have another quick fire look around, I had to show you this Aston Martin, the model of which is hinted in the number plate. This being a 2016 Vantage GT8. With only 150 GT8s produced, these were sold out shortly after they were announced in 2016. The 4.7 litre naturally aspirated V8 in this is a very distinctive and loud engine. This is a special version of the GTE competition car. What do you think of this styling and colour scheme on this? Look at this cutaway here and the carbon fibre seals that run down this car. And that is a low front splitter. Lovely to see a GT8 here. It's staggering here. Look at what's casually parked up here. A stunning 1984 Ferrari 288, and next to it that's a Ferrari F40. Now Ferrari originally planned to make only 400 of these F40s, but due to such an interest and demand for this car, they ended up producing around 1300 cars. They were produced from 1987 to 1992. When these come onto the market, these come with an asking price close to 3 million. I know a 1991 F40 was sold in October 2023 for 1.7 million, and it's just sitting here for people to get close to. Wow, this was the first production car to break the 200 miles per hour barrier. And it goes on, look at this lineup. Another Daytona SP3, V12 engine in those, and only 599 produced. Then we have this, a Ferrari Enzo. Only 400 of these were ever made. These were created in 2002, so unbelievably 23 years ago now, to celebrate Ferrari's Formula 1 achievements and pay homage to the company's founder, Enzo Ferrari. Now I want to fight through the crowds and get up close to another rare but lovely Aston Martin, which I'm sure I've seen up here. Yep, there it is. This is a 2024 Aston Martin Valor V12, and this badge shows that only 110 cars were made. It's to celebrate the company's 110th anniversary. I love these. We saw it earlier as it was finding its current parking position. Just look at how this looks. I think it's stunning. Now let me show you the exhaust, which is quite low down. These lovely designed rear lights. And tucked under this rear carbon diffuser are the 3 exhaust pipes. They're quite hard to see. Look at the crowds here. Lovely interior. I love those seats. Now these have a 5.2 litre twin turbocharged V12 engine which produces 705 brake horsepower and is paired with a 6-speed manual transmission. In fact, I love everything about the Valor. And it's got an angry front to it. It looks menacing, as if it has attitude. And I'm so pleased to see one of these close up. And I've just saw this through the crowds. I had a lovely model of one of these when I was younger, a Jaguar XJ220. These have a 3.5 litre twin turbocharged V6 engine which produces 542 horsepower in a race-proven power plant. This delivers significant power and performance, and it has a recorded top speed of 217 miles per hour during testing. Now this was originally envisaged to have a mighty V12 engine, but due to engineering and emission requirements, it resulted in this turbocharged V6, which I always thought if you look through this rear window, it looks although there would be plenty of room for a V12 upgrade. And just as I aim to bring this video to a close, I stumbled across another masterpiece. This time a carbon-bodied 2020 Pagani Hyra. Look at these 4 exhaust pipes and what sits behind them. Now only 100 of these were produced, which was part of Pagani's agreement with engine supplier Mercedes-AMG. Just look at this interior. And look at that carbon weave. And these wing mirrors look like they've been developed by aliens. Just another amazing car here at Goodwood Circuit. What a breakfast car meet this is. Now as we see this stunning Porsche 356 leave, I just wanted to show you the paddock areas where the undercover garages are. One area has been designated a Porsche area, and just look around at all these cars. Another area has been given over to McLarens, which we'll take a quick look at shortly. I'll just take a quick look around here then. I won't talk too much around these Porsches, but let's look at a couple of specs here. Starting off with this light grey GT3 RS. Just look at the aero work on these. And there are a number of GT3s here today. So many Porsches, all different specs, colours and models. As we see a red GT3 leaving over there. I do love these silver wheels. Look at these narrow fins up here on the roof. And on this one, this absolutely huge rear wing. Look how big that is from down here. This green Porsche looks lovely, with these gold wheels, and a slightly more modest rear wing. Well, modest compared to this grey one next to it. Which wing do you prefer, this huge one or this more proportionate sized one? This green colour is very smart. I'm not sure I'd have these red calipers though. I'd probably have black ones. Now this brighter green racing spec Porsche is beckoning me over. Looks really nice. Yep, looks very smart. Another lovely dark green 911 with gold wheels. Now there's a GT3 which has caught my eye over here. Those blue wheels. What do you think of this? Blue wheels on black. I like it. Look at them all back here. They look very nice. I really like these blue wheels. Just notice carbon roof, again with these fins here. Look at all this aero. Let me show you all these McLarens here. It's like a packet of Skittles with all these colours. There are so many, all different models. And from a bright green 675 over here to an orange 570. To a V6 Artura. There's pretty much every recent model of McLaren here. Now, one place my dad and I wanted to check out before we left was where the Spitfires are housed. You can pay to ride in a two-seater Spitfire here at Goodwood. And here we have one with a paying customer sitting in the back seat, which we think is about to leave shortly. Just wait for this 12-cylinder Rolls-Royce Merlin engine to start. The noise is incredible. Here we go. Just imagine a dozen of those taking off, one after the other, to go and defend our shores. So amazing. Gives me goosebumps. As we see the cars leaving, what a formidable event this has been. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all these cars. It's been busy but so worthwhile. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. My experience of the London Concourse is coming up soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.